go super heavy from the beginning. I'm probably going a little heavy, but I've also done this for years now, filling in my eyebrows, so I know how much I need and how much to use. But if it's your first time, go super light and build it with time. I'm now going to fill in my brows. Now, the nice thing with pomades too is they're really easy to build, so you can decide how heavy you want to go with them. If you want a really light brow, you can kind of keep it like this, super light, or you can go really heavy with it and darken it more. I'm going to do kind of an in-between. Now, if you do find, my brush unfortunately is a little dirty. What happens is when my brush gets dirty, it starts to fray a bit, and then my lines aren't as clean and sharp as I like them. So you can use a Q-tip, or I guess your finger in this instance, to kind of clean up around the edges. A wet Q-tip is usually just fine though. I'm just out of Q-tips. I'm out of a lot of things apparently. I should have thought about that before doing this. So now I've got the back end filled in, nice shape to it, nice color. I'm going to then take it again, and towards the front, I'm going to start on the bottom and extend that line out very lightly. This is where you really want to have a soft touch. Just go nice and light. Once you've done that, switch the angle. So you've been drawing with like this side, but switch the angle so you're like this now, with the taller part up, and start to brush along like this. This is going to create a really light feathery effect that's going to extend the color out into a nice fade in with your skin. You don't want to draw a super hard line. You don't want to take your brush and do this. I'm literally showing you what not to do here. I can't even draw it like this anymore because it's been so long. I used to do this, and this is a beginner's #1 mistake, is drawing on what I call a Sharpie brow with a super hard line up front. Again, there are looks that call for this, like very specific looks if you're like really into that look great, but if you're just going for an everyday look, this looks much better than this does. Don't do this. This doesn't look like a natural eyebrow. This looks like you took a flat-edge Sharpie and Sharpied it on. Now, the other thing too you want to avoid is to avoid putting a round. There's a lot of people who, for some reason, do this. They put like a round at the front, I guess to hide how square it actually is, and then just do like that. I don't know. Your eyebrows are square. They're rectangular, but they're also hair, so they're going to be natural, which means you're going to have all these little soft faded hairs at the front of your eyebrow. It's not going to be hard and square. It's not going to be a circle. You don't want to have apostrophe eyebrows. You want to have nice square feathered eyebrows. At least if you want a nice natural look. Again, specific looks call for a harder looking eyebrow. I've done harder looking eyebrows with like really gothic looks, but if you're just looking for an everyday look, this is what you want to do. Now, I'm going to clean up this eye in a minute here, but when you are finished, you want to take the spoolie and you kind of want to brush through it lightly again. This is going to help disperse the eyebrow makeup into the eye bit, or not into your eye, but into your eyebrow bit, as well as get rid of any little clumpies you might get, because sometimes this stuff likes to clump a bit. I don't know if I said the brand, I actually already forgot, so sorry if I'm repeating myself, but this is the NYX Tame & Frame. And I use, what color is this? Espresso. Probably the only one they had. Because, I wanted a different color at one point, but... So I'm going to remove this eyebrow that's incorrect so I can do it correctly. For my makeup remover, you can use makeup removing wipes if you'd like, but I use micellar water. It doesn't remove quite as well as a makeup wipe does, although it does a pretty good job still. The reason I use it is because I get way more use out of this than makeup wipes and at a much better cost. So I buy this And then I buy, these come in like a pack of 3 for like $1. Like 300 of these for like, I want to say $2. Of these little cotton pads. So I do recommend getting those. So this is going to be for removing makeup. I just put a little bit of water, of the micellar water on there. And then I'm just going to remove my eyebrow. And just like that, it's gone. I'm going to kind of dry that with the back of my hand a bit. Yeah, so if you're going to erase something with micellar water, you can use Q-tips with this. It works great. You can, of course, use the little pads. You can see there's my eyebrow. Gross. Gross. I lost my train of thought. Typical. You can use the micellar water though to kind of touch up your makeup if you make mistakes. I highly recommend it. It works much better than just normal water. Normal water tends to smear your makeup more than remove it. So anyway, if you do that though, you want to let your stuff dry a bit before you reapply, because the micellar water will obviously keep it from sticking to your face. So I'm gonna brush that brow again. And apply once again. So if you want to, I'm just applying the other eyebrow real quick, so if you want to skip the video like, I don't know, a minute, you can. So this is definitely the part that takes the longest though. And I don't know why, but this eyebrow always comes out darker than the other one. Also, your eyebrows are sisters, not twins. I know that's the thing. But when you use a good technique that uses the natural shape of your eyebrows, you will find that your sisters look pretty similar. Everyone always tells me and my sister look like twins anyway, so. Okay. Now, when you're putting on brows, you might find that you have some excess hair kind of like below the brow area. See, look, now this one's darker and I have to fill this one in more. I don't know why it always comes out that way. My makeup doesn't like to stick to this eyebrow very well. This always happens. Honestly, I probably need new pomade. This stuff is really dried out. Okay, it's a little better. See, they're not exactly the same, which will bother some of you, but that's just how life is. So the only thing I'm going to do is I am going to extend this out a little bit more, just because I see that the other one is a little bit longer. There, it's a little better. So you'll see it nice and soft up front, darker towards the end. You don't want to put a big tough square there. Cool. Now my eyebrows are done. They look good. I'm happy with them, whatever. Moving on. So this is where the kind of most unconventional part comes. This isn't like a technique I came up with. I know I got it from somewhere. I want to say it's like a Korean makeup technique. I don't know. I could be totally wrong. But basically, instead of using like contour, or foundation, or highlighter to do a lot of sculpting to your face, we're going to use just blush. I think this is a really cool technique for people who are first starting out with makeup to use that adds a lot of life and color to the face. Because what happens is that when you've just put on concealer, or if you do foundation, and your eyebrows and your powder and stuff, your face comes out very dull and flat looking. I mean, it looks nicer, but it's just kind of boring. So this is going to add color back to the face. I'm using an e.l.f. blush. Again, I really like this brand. It's really cheap, it's really affordable, and it comes with some pretty good stuff. I want to say it's like $5. But this one comes with, this is a blush and contour palette, which I have used both. When I do like to contour, which is occasionally, or want to bronze. But we're going to be using the blush, which I am almost out of. So, this is in Fiji Matte, I guess. I'm not really sure if that's the actual name of the color, but it's a bit of a warmer toned, kind of peachy color. I'm going to use my blush brush. That's a black one I bought separately. That's nice and fluffy. And you're going to find the apples of your cheeks. So the apples of your cheeks are going to be these round parts right here. So when you smile, I'm going to do this right here. So you're going to lightly apply to your apples. If you need to smile while you do it, to help you visualize where those are, go ahead. So look at how much color that's already added. Start light. My brush is a little dirty, so it has a lot of extra blush deposit in there, so it doesn't take much for me anymore because I use a lot of leftover. But if you're using a brand new brush, you might need to use a little bit more, but start out light. Always start out light. I like to do both cheeks. So first you'll do that. So just the apples. Then find where your cheekbone is. That's going to be this right here. So it's going to be kind of like if you feel where like the bottom of your eye socket is. That's going to be the top of your cheekbone. You want to go just under that. Not all the way down here. You want to be above this line here, which when you suck in your cheeks, so you want to be above that, but below this. You're going to carefully brush back. I like to make little circular motions. You want to go from here back because you want it to fade back, not fade forward. Keep adding until you have a blush consistency you like. I like mine kind of heavy. You might like yours lighter. Go lighter if that's what you prefer. You want the heaviest though to be kind of up front. So that's going to bring a lot of color to your cheeks. It's going to make you look really blushy and cute. Here's where the weird part comes in. You're going to take blush. Again, I like a lot. If you prefer less, use less. Always start up less and build up if you want more. I just know what I use because at this point I've done it enough times. Tip of your nose, just go back and forth like this. Until the tip of your nose is a little bit rosy. See? Take a little bit more. Very light on the chin. You don't want to overdo the chin. A little bit on the chin. And last but not least, your eyes. For your eyes, you want to go to the outside of the eye and brush like this. So from like the middle here, out. It's okay if it gets a little bit underneath, that's fine. You want this to look really natural. You want it to look like you're just kind of blushy all over. I will say this is a look that probably works a little bit better for lighter skinned folks. If you are darker skinned, I'm sure this could work with the right kind of blush. I'm not a makeup artist. I'm not dark skinned. I'm obviously whitey McWhite over here. So I'm not sure how this would work on a darker tone. This is just my technique that I use at home. Again, not a makeup artist. I'm not super duper talented like that. This is just my everyday look that I do. So this could work for darker skin tones with the right blush. I'm not sure. The best thing you can do is give it a try. Once I've done that, you can see now I'm kind of red. And it kind of just adds color. It makes it look really blushy, it makes it look really cute and really lively, at least in my opinion. Next thing we're going to do is highlighter. So This is one of those things I've upgraded to a nicer highlighter because I love highlighting. I love shining bright like a diamond. And so I have upgraded my highlight to this, which I use every day. This is a Becca highlighter. And I want to say, yeah, Moonstone. It says right on the back. It looks so pretty. I'm also almost out of this because I love it. And that makes me really sad and want to cry. So you can see that the silver is the bottom of the pan. You can see all the stuff around the edges is what's left. A little bit goes a long way with this stuff, so it has lasted a super long time, but I do need more. However, because I want to keep this on the cheaper side for you guys, another really good highlight is Wet n Wild. This is an illuminating palette in, I'm not sure what color because it doesn't say, but they come in a couple of different shades. It comes with actually 4 different shades here. So I've used up pretty much all the bronze because I loved the bronzer in this, and I used it all. So it comes with bronzer, 2 shades of blush, and a highlight. I do use these blushes occasionally as well, which you'll see when I open it. You can see I've used them a bit. And I haven't used the highlight as much because I've since moved up to a highlighter I like better. This is a nice highlight though. It's really, really cheap highlight. I want to say this palette again is like $5, and you get 4 different colors out of it, which the blushes are really super cute. They're shiny and sparkly though, and I didn't want a shiny sparkly blush for this. You do want a matte blush, which is why I recommend this e.l.f. one, because they're matte. If you use a shinier blush, you will look shinier. And mixed with a highlight and putting blush all over your face like I just did, you're going to look a little too bright, in my opinion. Totally up to you. If you like to be super bright all over, that's fine. So taking this brush that I was using and into the highlight, I'm going to take a little bit, just like that. You can kind of see. And I'm going to, now remember those cheekbones? This time you're going to be on top of them. So this, for me, is right here. Feel with your finger where those are. And start applying right on top. Again, start light and build up. So that way you know how much to use. See how much shinier that is versus this side? Very nice. So you're going to add it there on both sides. Then you're going to take it and you're going to add it down the bridge of the nose. Just like that. Then you're going to take it again and tip of the nose. Just right across like that. This one really light. This one tends to go a little heavy sometimes. Again, you can use a fan brush for this if you've seen people use fan brushes, and that is the more popular technique, but I just use this. A little bit on the chin. Again, lighter on the chin. You can go heavier on the cheeks if you want, on the cheekbones, but go a little lighter on the chin. Then I'm going to move over to this brush, this little eye blending brush I said I like to use for highlighter. Dip that in there. See? I like to get right here on my Cupid's bow. Right under the brow. Right here. Then, in the corners of the eyes. So it adds a little bit of shine, adds a little bit of dimension. And we're almost done. So last but not least, we're going to use mascara. Now when you're putting on the blush on your eye, so a couple of things I want to touch down on. When you're putting the blush on your eyelids, if you find that you're having a hard time controlling with a blush brush, you can use an eyeshadow brush. That's why I kind of mentioned this earlier. This will give you a little bit more control if you just want to do from the outside this way. I'm used to using a blush brush at this point just because it's easier to use the same brush I was using elsewhere. But you can use an eyeshadow brush if you want more control. I would recommend it if you find it's hard to use the blush brush. The other thing is with eyebrows. You can pluck them. So I would suggest drawing them on first. That way you know the shape you want. Use a color that's like really noticeable. Maybe use like a bright red eyeshadow or something. I don't know. Then whatever hairs are left out, you can pluck or wax or trim or whatever you want to do. Sometimes you can just shave them. I do have some here, but my hairs are so light and so like sparse that I don't bother because you don't even notice them. I have shaved them before because it does help the highlight stick a little better under here for me. But for the most part, it's not really worth the hassle for me. If you have super thick eyebrows that you want to just shape a little bit on the ends, I would recommend maybe trying to pluck or shape them. But for the most part, with the front of your eyebrows, stick to your natural thickness, even if they're super thick. Super thick eyebrows are in, and a lot of the times if you have thick eyebrows, they look good on your face because your facial structure allows for them. I don't look too good with super thick eyebrows because my facial structure wasn't made for thick eyebrows. They just look out of place on me. But I think they look awesome on other people. I've tried doing thick eyebrows because I love them, but they don't work on me. So moving on from those couple of points there, I am using a Clump Crusher mascara from CoverGirl in Ultra Black. It's basically just a clump-free mascara. You can get, honestly, any brand of mascara that's clump-free. Just get the non-clump and get it in black. I mean, you can do brown, but it just doesn't show up as nicely, I think. I prefer just the black. So, take that out. I like to take off, there's always just like a little extra on the tip I like to take off. Don't do this. You're going to screw up your brush and you're going to get the things all broken and make them all clumpy, and then what's the point in getting a clump-free mascara that's going to clump? So I like to just, I'm probably the only person in the world that doesn't make the little O with her mouth. It's a little bit open, but my mouth is kind of always a little bit open. But you're just going to want to kind of brush upward on them. You can blink into it a little bit if you want, like blink on it. But for the most part, you want your hands to do the work. A lot of people ask how you do this if you've never worn it before, because putting something so close to your eye bothers you. Don't stare at the brush, because yeah, you're going to blink. Stare at your pupil in the mirror. Just stare at it. You want to kind of lean up. So that way you're looking down. This is going to kind of like force your eyes open more. With time, you'll get used to this. That's really all there is to it. You'll learn not to get so freaked out by it being so close to your eye. Sometimes blinking onto it like this helps a lot if you do have that fear still and it's like hard for you to do this. And then last but not least, just very lightly on the bottom lashes. You don't want to go too heavy. You don't want to give yourself spider eyes. Alright, so this look is just about done. We're just going to seal everything in now. I like to wear chapstick. It just kind of adds a nice little sheen to your lips and is also just good for them. And then last but not least, we're going to seal everything in. So there it is. What I'm going to use to seal is going to be the Wet n Wild Natural Finish Photo Focus Setting Spray. It's okay. It's an alright setting spray. It works pretty well. The best setting spray, in my opinion, is Urban Decay All Nighter Spray, but it's really expensive. So for starting out, this works perfectly fine. But this is going to be basically, again, thinking about like art and painting. If you've ever painted something and you have to put a varnish over it to basically seal in the painting and protect it. this is gonna kind of be the same sort of technique or concept here, is that this is gonna help seal in your makeup, keep it on, keep it looking fresh all day long without damage from things. So, gonna put that on. So mine is also almost out.
Beaches.
So you do want to do a couple of sprays kind of all over. You don't need to like soak your face. Mine was just being difficult, so I was having a hard time getting it out, but you just want to kind of spray lightly over the face. Some people say like 4 sprays. I have a friend that she likes to spray in the air and then walk through it. So you'll find what kind of works for you best, but you'll see it'll leave you kind of wet. So I'm just letting mine dry. Now they come in 2 different kinds of finishes. There is a matte finish, which is going to look very like dry, and it's gonna reduce like shininess and oiliness. And then they have a natural finish, which is gonna have a little bit more of a dewy, like natural look. Depending on what kind of look I'm going with, depends on which one I use. Sometimes I'll use a really matte one if I'm doing like an all-night look with like really intense eyeshadows and stuff. But for my everyday look, I prefer the dewy finish. It looks a little bit more natural. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this look. So it's a very nice all-day look. I'm going to take out my headband, so you can kind of see it with my hair. So that's a really good look for people who are just starting out makeup. It should last you most of the day. I can wear this look to work. And of course, it wouldn't be me if I didn't have a coughing fit in the middle of whatever I'm talking about. So that it will conclude for now. I can do more videos on like removing makeup and cleaning brushes and all that, but that's basically just a good everyday look. So just make sure before bed each night that you wipe all the makeup off your face. Don't sleep in it. Don't wear it longer than like, I want to say like 10 hours at most. And make sure you then wash and moisturize your face. One thing you can do is that before you do put on makeup and all that is you can do a sunscreen. And I probably should have recommended that from the beginning. I need to be better on that. So anyway, that's it for now. I hope that helped some of you with a really good, easy, everyday look. And bye.